This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the superstars of the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Nationals Monster Truck Challenge. The National Network. Today we're in downtown Indianapolis at the Hoosier Dome for the Monster Truck Thunder Drags. The fans are arriving and we're excited to be here. Hi everybody, I'm Gary Lee alongside Army Armstrong in my hometown, Indianapolis. We call this the racing capital of the world, but Army, besides the Indy 500, we have motorsports in this town virtually every weekend. And today we move inside for one of the biggest events of the entire monster truck season.
The word big is optimum here because the big trucks are going into big buildings and they like it in a big way. I tell you, normally the walls of a building will intimidate the monster trucks, but not the case at the Hoosier Dome. This building is so big, the drivers are saying they're going to run it just like it was outdoors. Gary, look for some 100% runs today.
This is the home of the Indianapolis Colts, but no football tonight. It's side-by-side monster truck racing coming up next.
Welcome back to the Indiana Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis for the Monster Truck Thunder Drags, a part of the PENDA Point Series. I'm Army Armstrong along with Gary Lee, who'll be trackside today. And earlier, Gary had a report on the track conditions for tonight's event.
In racing, we call this a heavy or a tacky track. There's a lot of moisture in the dirt. The drivers like that because it gives them good bite off the starting ramp. A lot of times on outdoor tracks, the track is sandy or the dirt's very dry and the dirt at the starting line digs out. That perhaps will not be a concern this evening. However, the drivers call this a self-disciplined track. It's too tempting to nail the hammer over this takeoff ramp. But if they go too fast with too much horsepower, they get too much air. The track doesn't settle down, and they're not set up for the second ramp. So according to Andy Brass, you got to use this right here and not just that right foot when you get the green light at the starting line.
Here's a look at a qualifying time. The quick qualifying today of Lyle Hancock and the Gravedigger, who offered us a textbook example of how to put the horsepower to the ground. His qualifying time of a 4.367 showed us just how much fight there was on the starting line, Gary. As you said, they're sticking the horsepower to the ground in the Hoosier Dome.
Well, the racers like this track configuration. They like the track consistency this evening. There's a look at Hancock alongside Jack Willman Jr.
Again, a wheels-up start showing that the horsepower will be able to be used here this evening. Both trucks landing awfully weird, Gary.
Yeah, both had hard landings, but I think the worst for wear was Jack Willman Jr. As we take a look at Gary Wiggins out of North Carolina, he drives the Carolina Crusher. This was also in round one competition against Wayne Smozanik in Tropical Thunder.
We go on board with Wiggins. Well, I'll tell you what, Gary Porter's picked him a good driver to go into that number 2 truck, Gary.
Also in round one, the snakebite, Coach COBRA. He served notice that he's going to be really a player today at a 4.433. He goes up against USA 1.
Again, the monster truck guys are coming out wheels up. The guys that run the TCI type transmission, that's a manufacturer's name, are literally doing wheelies with these 10,000-pound trucks. That is awesome.
Well, the biggest casualty in round one was the 93 Dodge of Don Van Loo in the Magnum Force. He gets out of shape in the far lane. He goes up against John Moore in no problem.
Now, both trucks leave the starting line together, but on the second jump landing, something lets go in the back of the truck. And when Van Loo pulled to a stop, Gary worked his way over to him to find out exactly what did happen.
What actually put you in that situation?
I think I stayed on the throttle a little bit too hard off the first set of cars and it got me a little crooked and just couldn't bring it back out of it.
We've heard the drivers say this is a disciplined track. You really can't use all the horsepower you have at the start.
Definitely can't use all the horsepower. You got to be a little bit more conservative. I got onto it just a little bit too hard.
Now, in the first round, Scott Stevens out of Woodland, Texas, with the Auto Value King Crunch vehicle, pulled up against none other than his own nemesis, Andy Brass in the Bigfoot. Both trucks full well knowing you got to run this sport all the way out the end. Stevens stayed after the Bigfoot truck, and even though Andy Brass took the win light, Scott Stevens will come back by virtue of a 460 quick time loser in the first round. So that will roll him over into round 2 of competition.
Well, Army, advancing the fast loser from a round is the additional incentive these drivers need. So we'll see Scott Stevens along with Andy Brass and Bigfoot in round 2, the big screen television here at the Hoosier Dome in downtown Indianapolis. The matchups now for the second round: Gravedigger against the Carolina Crusher, Snakebite and No Problem, Bigfoot and King Crunch. Plus, we'll have the fast loser also advancing to round 3. All right, side-by-side competition ready to resume here in the Hoosier Dome.
Lyle Hancock could be the guy that everybody's trying to keep a hand on. He is going after the Carolina Crusher, running under the sponsorship of the Bill Brandt Chevrolet people. And Hancock knows that he cannot roll over on this guy. Gary Wiggins is a hired gun. Gary Porter, normally the driver of the truck and still is the owner, but he has hired Wiggins to come to the Hoosier Dome to try to shoot these bad boys down. And believe me, that is not going to be an easy task.
So we have the Gravedigger with Lyle Hancock, the 1950 Chevy panel wagon, one of the most popular trucks on the circuit, alongside Gary Wiggins and the Carolina Crusher.
Both drivers working the lights are going into the lanes.
Good in-cockpit view of Gary Wiggins.
As soon as the truck moves, he shifts the transmission.
Oh, and he's in trouble.
Whoa.
He almost rolled over. He hit one of the ramps there. We have a motorcycle show as well here in the Hoosier Dome tonight with a ramp jump, and he hit the takeoff ramp. So he was well out of control, out of shape there as he landed, but it was all Lyle Hancock. And I tell you, this guy is really coming on strong.
Yeah, he's making a name. The truck has always had a name for itself. Hancock is making his name as a driver, and he's a good one. Again, Gary, notice the wheels up start. Definitely an advantage on short courses like this.
But it was on the landing that Wiggins got in trouble, had to hang on there. It gets very slick over there on the concrete when they get off that dirt. One more look now coming right at you. There is Gary Wiggins in the near lane, and you can see that it's all Lyle Hancock in the far lane, but right there he gets in trouble.
Yeah, once he gets off the dirt, the concrete really could be the worst thing in the world because it's a little bit slippery. But the winner of that round, the Gravedigger, had some problems of his own. Now, Gary, I understand you're down in the pit area with him, and I understand a tire may be the problem.
Well, there's no time for an interview right now because Lyle, although he won that round, has cut a tire. He's now doing some patchwork. The fast qualifier, the Gravedigger, Lyle Hancock, now trying to patch the left front tire.
Well, Gary, we could be building a little bit of drama here tonight. Will he be able to make the call? We don't know. We do know the Snakebite has made his call to the line. He'll be going out representing the Ford camp. It's COBRA out of Cobra Creek, Colorado. He's tickled to death with the way the truck is handling tonight. He is feeling good about it, but he's going up against the Lafayette, Tennessee truck, John Moore, sponsored by the HPX people, in the No Problem truck with the off-road suspension. Moore is also comfortable with his truck. Big question right now, will these trucks be able to figure out the short 300-foot track, Gary?
Both drivers utilizing Ford power, but one has a Bronco body, the other is a Ford pickup. A good start for Colt Cobra. It's all Snakebite here in the Hoosier Dome.
Well, we know Snakebite is going to be coming out of this round, but I understand you're standing down trackside with Lyle Hancock to give us an update.
You had some work to do on a cut tire. What happened?
Well, it went over the last set of cars right there. Apparently going up the ramp, it split the tire. We're putting some boots and stuff in it, trying to stop the air leak. I need to get some air put in the tire, and I'm going to run this next round. The tire's low. I don't know how much that's going to affect the truck, but I'm going to give up.
Well, that's the name of this sport. You can't give up and stay alive in this sport. Andy Brass rolls out to the line into Big Blue. Bob and Marilyn Chandler, Bigfoot Ford out of St. Louis, Missouri area. Been here before many times. Andy Brass will be going against none other than Racing Radio sponsored Auto Value Parts Stores King Crunch Scott Stevens. Now, Stevens has recently moved his operation from Woodlands, Texas to Indianapolis to be part of this new economic development program that the city of Indianapolis is doing, trying to entice racers to move here. It worked. Stevens goes against Brass. Who's it going to be?
It's also a rematch from round one because Scott was the fast loser from round one. And once again, it's Bigfoot. So Andy Brass, and look at this. Snakebite wants a shot at Bigfoot in the dome.
He wants to get a piece of him today. Both drivers really able to figure the track out. Horsepower prevailed in that particular run.
So it was all Andy Brass. And so he'll go up against Snakebite, with King Crunch going up against Gravedigger as we continue here in the dome.
Now, right now, Gary, we understand Andy Brass moves to the next round. You happen to be standing next to him. What's going on down there?
Good pass. Any changes now? You go against Snakebite. You've been against him before, and so far, both you guys are getting it done in no man's land.
That's true. Both trucks running pretty good. The Ford Bigfoot's been running real well for us. You know, we've been watching Snakebite there. He's running real well over the first set of cars. It's laying down for him. His suspension's working good. He's picking it up between the cars. You know, we're just going to try to see who's got fast time here on lane choice. We think right-hand lane's going to be a little bit better lane to run. So we're going to hope that we got fast time. We can pull a lane choice on him, put him in the other lane, play a little psychology on him. Otherwise, we're going to maybe change a gear down there about mid-track and hope that pulls the extra little ump that we can put us over the edge for him.
So in order to win this thing today, they're just looking for an extra little ump, Gary. Welcome back to the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis and the monster truck Thunder Drags. To find out when a Thunder Drags or a four-wheel and off-road jamboree event will be in your area, call or write the Special Events Promotion Company. Well, the Thunder Drags continue here at the Hoosier Dome, and Gary's worked his way down to one of the final four, Scott Stevens out of Texas.
With this bracketing, with a 10-truck field, on 2 occasions, the fast loser from the previous round comes back. And both times, it's been this guy right here. We don't like to use the term loser, but as long as you're fast, you're still in competition.
Yeah, you know, as fast as all these guys are, you know, I'm just really kind of pumped. I can't say we're losers. You know, we beat Taurus, which is the world champion, and Carolina Crushers, last year's world champion. We've got quicker times every lap. You know, the right lane is definitely a little bit better. No one's won down the left all night. So saying the right lane's better, but, you know, we've been the quickest in that left all night. Next race we'll have Digger, and, you know, we're just going to have to let her all hang out.
Well, he's talking about Digger. He's looking down the road. Let's see who's going to come out of this bracket. Andy Brass, the Bigfoot truck, 460 cubic inch supercharged Ford engine. Basically the same type truck is on the other side of him. Engine's in the same location. COBRA, the story is, built this truck for one reason, just to beat that blue Ford, Gary.
Well, you saw the expression on Colt Cobra when he saw that Bigfoot had won and he had a chance to race against him. He wants to put those fangs in Bigfoot here tonight.
I think he did it. I think he did it. And then has to burp the throttle on the other end. That's why the truck was built. You might be watching a dream come true for a guy out of Colorado. Look at here. He is pumped up, just like you said.
Yeah, he wanted a shot at Bigfoot in the dome, and look at this. He got his shot, he made the most of it, and won it.
Oh, what a start by both trucks. Well, Gary, we understand you have the driver of Snakebite. What's he got to say about it?
Talk about getting good bite off the starting line. It was wheels up.
Yeah, that's right. The Firestone's hooked up for me that round again, Gary. You know, Ford Brass Eagle Snakebite, I can't say enough for the guys at the shop. They busted their tails all week, getting this thing put together, getting ready for these races and so inside, you know. We weren't real sure coming in here with the gears if we had enough gear to pull this track, but evidently after the last round, it looks like we reeled in the Bigfoot truck in the middle and pulled it out on the end. Truck worked good in the left lane, it's working good in the right lane. You know, the Ford's pushing me through. It's going to put me in the winner's circle.
Well, I tell you what, if he's going to the winner's circle, this is what he's got to look forward to. Lyle Hancock and Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger they seem to be holding a hot hand all weekend long. As a matter of fact, the Gravedigger has looked especially strong tonight. Earlier, Gary asked him about it.
You have to be impressed with how this panel wagon is handling down here in no man's land. You're able to settle the chassis, you pick up the throttle, and hook up the horsepower.
We spent a lot of time working on that chassis right there. I mean, as far as the truck's 2 years old, but we updated the chassis portion of it where the suspension works really well. Last weekend was the first weekend out for it, and as you can see, it's working really well.
Well, Gary, they say it's just like an old penny. It just kind of keeps coming back to you. Scott Stevens is staying alive, but this could be the kiss of death for him. Keeps coming back to that quick loser bracket, Gary.
Well, this could be his night, though. He has been fast. He comes from that left lane. The right lane is the lane of choice, and that is where Lyle Hancock will do his business. And it's going to be, well, Hancock looks like he may have gone out of bounds.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait for a call from the MTRA people on that. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Stevens, we do have a little drama building. He has just blown out the right rear tire, Gary.
Coming right at you now. Stevens the right lane. Lyle Hancock the left lane. Lyle wins it, but he's disqualified for landing out of bounds. Right here, he's out of bounds.
Gary, you're exactly right. The rule book says all 4 tires have to go to the finish line. That wasn't the case there. He bounced out a little bit on the right side. So that's why you make a rule book. You got to live and die by the rule book. Hancock will go on the trailer. But right now, it looks like there may be something else taking place as a little drama starting to build. Scott Stevens has blown out the rear tire on his vehicle. He's trying to get some help. Okay, Gary's working his way down to him right now. Gary, as you can see, is heading to a frantic Scott Stevens.
Scott, what happened, and can you get it fixed?
If we can get a tire in time,
that's it.
we got a tire at the trailer, but the time's not much time.
Let's take one more look. This was the closest Stevens came to winning all night long, but right now Cinderella has broken the slipper. Gary, what's the latest?
Well, Army, here's the problem. Scott Stevens was the fast loser in round 1, advanced, the fast loser in round 2, advanced, but now he's up against the clock. He only has 10 minutes to replace this right rear. He's gone outside to pick up a spare from his trailer, but time now is not on his side. If he can't get it fixed, it'll be the fast loser from this round, and that will make a rematch with Snakebite and Bigfoot.
Gary, we'll see if Scott Stevens can make it when we come back. Welcome back to the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, where some high drama is unfolding. Can Scott Stevens make it to the line in time? The crowd is counting down. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I think he's made it, Army. The crowd indeed was counting. He had all kinds of help from various other teams to get that right rear change. He only had 10 minutes to do it with only a couple of seconds remaining. He is about to present himself at the starting line to go up against this guy right here.
Yeah, Colt Cobra is coiled and waiting. And, you know, he brought out an interesting point about motorsports in general. These guys do anything to beat each other, Colt Cobra and Scott Stevens, but on the other side of the coin, Colt Cobra didn't push the issue. He let Stevens have all the time he had coming to him. That's why all these other crew members had a chance to help him out.
Well, during that commercial break, there was a flurry of activity out there. Changing a tire on a monster truck will never, ever be confused with a NASCAR pit stop. There's Lyle Hancock. He's helping out. Wayne Smozanic in behind the tire.
The NASCAR boys are down to under 17 seconds, and these guys can do it in about 5 minutes. But there's about 2,000 pounds of weight
yeah,
there.
These guys didn't add fuel either.
Well, I respect all those guys. No matter what size tire they're changing, everybody's doing the best they can. But right now, the business at hand is we got a GMC going up against a Snake Ford.
Well, Scott Stevens has been hanging on by his teeth, not his fangs, but his teeth this evening.
Hey, at the end, you got one winner. They don't ask you how you got there. And, you know, racing, you only got to lead one lap to be the winner. Let's see if Stevens can pull it off.
It's not going to happen tonight because
Cinderella story
Colt
just
Cobra.
Yeah.
Colt Cobra has just shattered the glass flippers this evening. Cinderella will have to settle for second place in the Hoosier Dome. The Thunder Drags, because the championship goes to the Snakebite.
Yeah, but the crowd got to see some good racing. That's what you get to see at each one of these events. Look at the wheel stand from Colt Cobra. These guys literally had it on kill. It was a final, but you'd have thought it was the final for the World Championship. Cobra acknowledging the crowd. I like that. These guys really appreciate the crowd and what they do for them. As Colt Cobra stopped the Cinderella story, waves the big number 1. He is ready to go. The replay comes up. Gary, take us through this.
Well, once again, it looks like Colt Cobra had the whole shot kind of light, and it was all Colt Cobra. And look at the damage to the bed. The fiberglass bed breaks loose on the King Crunch truck.
Right now, Gary's standing by in the winner's circle with Colt Cobra.
A big night in the Hoosier Dome for the Snake. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Gary Lee. Ford Brass Eagle Snakebite run real good tonight. We knew if we would pull up against Bigfoot in the final round again, we didn't know if we could pull another victory out. You know, we knew Scott was kind of rushed for time there, and we've been watching his times all night, and they haven't, you know, really been that close to us. I give a lot of credit to his crew for getting that truck fixed, getting it out there on the line for us. I'm just tickled to death. Ecstatic that the Ford Brass Eagle Snakebite put her in the finish circle, in the winner's circle here in the Hoosier Dome. It's been a long time coming for us. Firestone, Autometer, MSD, BDS, everybody back to shop. Thanks a lot.
Well, a great day of racing here at the Hoosier Dome, and a great effort by both Scott Stevens and Colt Cobra.
Well, the fans certainly enjoyed it, so Colt Cobra goes to the pay window, and the folks from PENDA, who put up like $50,000 for the PENDA points, well, they're on hand this evening to present the money to Colt Cobra. It has been a great evening here in my hometown of Indianapolis for Army Armstrong. I'm Gary Lee. Thanks for joining us. Our congratulations to Colt Cobra. We'll see you next week on Trucks and Tractor Power. Now here's news of an exciting video release from Diamond P Sports.
Hi, this is Army Armstrong. Diamond P Sports has a special combo offer for you folks who watch Trucks and Tractor Power. You buy Shake, Battle, and Roll 1 and 2, we're going to save you $5, plus we're going to send you one of the authentic Diamond P crew hats. Take a look at these videos. It's unleashed horsepower times 2 when you call 1-800-366-8989 as a world of monster trucks, mud racing, and truck and tractor pulling slam through your living room. This is the aerobatics of the flying monster trucks, the grime of the 3-second mud racers, and the unbelievable power of the truck and tractor pulling. You get all the thunder and fury of both videos, plus save $5 and get a free Diamond P hat. Just call 1-800-366-8989 or send check or money order for $34.90 plus $6 shipping and handling to the address shown on your screen. 1-800-366-8989.